Good morning on the last day, and I have decided I'm going to go to EPCOT today. So yeah, that answers the question, EPCOT or Magic Kingdom. I had a look at the wait times and they're all pretty much the same between the two of them, so let's hope EPCOT's not too busy, although cheerleaders are all still here, so let's see. I am driving, I'm not going to get the bus. Well, I have the car anyway, so I might as well just driving. So I will see you at EPCOT. Good morning from inside EPCOT. I'm not sure if you can hear me with the music. So I went to Starbucks, got my coffee, lemon loaf, and I'm now just sitting with a lovely view of Spaceship Earth in the new, I guess, I don't know what you would call this, connections, eatery area, the entry bay, well, gateway maybe, whatever they've decided to call it. But here's the view.
Trap water from the flowing mud, extracting precious nutrients and minerals. These elements, when combined with sunlight, create the diverse living systems of our planet. One of those living systems is the rainforest, home to the most amazing concentration of life on our planet. These dense and beautiful forests cover only a tiny portion of the Earth's surface, but they contain more than half of its plant and animal species. Rainforests are also extremely rich and productive living systems, providing us with oxygen, food, medicines, and other elements essential to our lives. In the desert, nature has created a very different, but no less beautiful living system. And while this arid landscape may seem lifeless, it is very much alive. The plants and animals that have learned to survive in these harsh conditions make use of what little water they can find and avoid the scorching rays of the relentless sun. The American prairie once appeared as desolate as the desert, but over time, rainwater and nutrients gradually penetrated the hard surface of this land. Even the hooves of the mighty buffalo helped create the rich soil that would one day become home to the American farm. Of all the forces at work on the land, Humans have had one of the most profound effects. The need to produce food for a growing world led to the enormous use and sometimes overuse of the land. In our search for more efficient ways to grow food, we often fail to realize the impact of our methods. Today, we're learning to live with the land, discovering better ways to grow food that will assure both human and environmental well-being.
Seacoasts by developing and planting crops that thrive on salt water. In Japan, we're learning that by mixing leaves and other living materials into our soil, we can make farmland more fertile without the need for chemicals. Here at EPCOT, we're learning to reduce the need for chemical pesticides by breeding and using natural predators, like ladybugs and wasps, to control pests. In the farmlands across America, we're learning that by plowing under vegetation containing natural fertilizers,
How will we meet tomorrow's growing needs for food production, yet still respect the needs of the land? Some of the answers are being discovered just ahead. The tropics are home to the greatest diversity of plants on the planet. Many of these, like papaya, bananas, cacao, coffee, and rice, are well known around the world. These are just a few of the edible plants that have been an important source of nutrition for people living in the tropics. Many are rich in vitamins and minerals, while others are well adapted to growing in less than ideal conditions. Some, like the water lily, thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. One day, many of these lesser-known tropical plants may be as important as the bananas growing on both sides of the boat. More than 28 million tons of bananas are eaten annually, making it the most popular fruit in the world. The sustainable system we're using here recycles the water in the tanks. As a result, we're able to save millions of gallons each year. Our small fish farm produces nearly 5,000 pounds of fish each year to serve in restaurants around Walt Disney World. Innovations like this one can play an important role in our efforts to produce bountiful harvests and still protect natural resources. The common grains growing here, wheat, maize, sorghum, and millet, plus rice, account for nearly 2/3 of our global food consumption. Learning how to increase yields of these staples is an important goal of research around the world. Some of our best ideas have been inspired by nature, like these fruit and vegetable trees. By growing these ground plants vertically, we can increase yields and better control diseases. These crops taste as good as they look. In fact, we serve more than 15 tons of produce from our greenhouses in restaurants here at the land every year.
So I've left EPCOT. I've just popped over to Caribbean Beach Resort to grab something to eat because, as well as my favourite resort, they also have my favourite burger on all the Disney property. So I've had my burger, the Swashbuckler Burger at Caribbean Beach Resort. It's basically a kind of Caribbean-y themed burger with coconut and jalapeno sauce on it, and it is really nice. Definitely worth coming over to try if you've never had it. It's different than the other resorts. One thing they have changed is you can no longer get fruit as a side option with it. It's either a salad or french fries, whereas before you used to be able to get a fruit cup as a side option. So I'm going to go back to Skyliner and head back to EPCOT. Plan is maybe I'll get Dole Whip. Don't think I'm going to stay till it closes, but I'm not sure yet. I'll put myself out the window. Then we'll see what I do. Last day, so not too exciting. So I'm ending where I started this morning. I just had a pineapple Dole Whip as Flower & Garden have it at one of their booths, and I really liked it last summer. And I think I'm going to head back to All Stars and then try and pack everything back in the suitcase, ready for tomorrow. And maybe I'll do Spaceship Earth one last time before I leave.
Now let's move ahead to ancient Egypt, because something is about to happen here that will change the future forever. This unknown Egyptian pounding reeds flat is inventing papyrus, a sort of paper. Papyrus in turn creates better record keeping of plans, designs, and unfortunately taxes. But it also brings with it the dawn of great civilizations. At this point, each civilization has its own form of writing, which none of the others can understand. But the Phoenicians, who trade with all of them, have a solution. They create a simple common alphabet, adaptable to most languages. Remember how easy it was to learn your ABCs? Thank the Phoenicians. They invented them. The ancient Greeks were great at this. First, they established public schools, and then began to into something called mathematics. And math comes from mechanical technology and the birth of the high-tech life.
Όλης μονής αυτήν σοφία ευλίδου κατατιθέν. Ουρανός δέγε κατέβουν πάρα.
With lessons learned from the Greeks, the Romans create a powerful empire. To move their armies around, they built a system of roads all over the known world. Rome built the first World Wide Web, and it's leading us into the future. But then we hit a roadblock. Rome falls, and the great library of Alexandria in Egypt is burned. Much of our learning is destroyed, lost forever. Or so we think. It turns out there are copies of some of these books in the libraries of the Middle East, being watched over by Arab and Jewish scholars. Call it the first backup system. The books are saved, and with them our dreams of the future. In the meantime, here in Europe, monks toil endlessly recording books by hand. But that is about to change. In 1450, Gutenberg invents the movable type printing press. Now knowledge can travel as fast as these new books, and travel they do. Books make it easier to invent the future in every field, and the result is an incredible explosion of innovation we call the Renaissance. Just the beginning. Now communication technology races head-on into the future, and soon people all over the world are sharing life's most important moments, fast
right to the golden slide. This humble young man lives here at the Berlin Olympics, proving to the world that champions come in all heights, breeds, and colors.
By now, we're all communicating from anywhere on Earth, and in 1969, from somewhere else.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
To send a man to the moon, we had to invent a new language, spoken not by man, but by computers. At first very large, very expensive computers, but we see the potential. What if everyone could have one of these amazing machines in their own house? There's just one problem. They're as big as a house. The solution comes in, of all places, a garage in California. Young people with a passion for shaping the future put the power of the computer in everyone's hands. Together we form a super network that glows with billions of interactions. And once again, we stand on the brink of a new renaissance.
So my holidays came to an end. Just about to leave All-Star Music Resort, where I stayed for the last 2 nights. So it's a little after 12:30 and I'm going to head over to Orlando Airport, Terminal C. So I spent the last 2 nights here at Disney's All-Star Music Resort. The sole reason for this was I managed to get a good deal on Undercover Tourist, which is a US site, just for the room only for those 2 nights. So I did that. It's the Hilton. I could have got over at SeaWorld, but I wanted to come here anyway because the plan was to make use of the entry pass I still had left for Disney, even though it doesn't expire till like 2099. May as well use it while I'm here this time, because any other time I'm going to be here, it'll be for like 2 weeks or so, so we would have the UK tickets anyway. So I'm done now, just heading back to the car, and then I have to drive to drop it off at Avis at the airport.